Okay, we are here. Good morning to everyone on this Wednesday Wellness or Wellness Wednesday. However, you want to take it, it's all about getting well, being well, and staying well. Today, we're going to talk about the missing parts of self-caring. And our candle is brought to you by, just one moment, Violet Rain. Violet Rain, pure, or Violet Rain. Beautiful smell. I wish you all could smell it with me as we are talking about self-caring. Thank you for joining my workshop. Is either individually or in person. You can reach me directly for our workshop work on 661-795-0475 or our direct connect, which doesn't matter where you live, 1-888-721-9260. Thank you for joining Missing Parts. Before we begin, we'd like to just make mention of a legendary singer, R&B, or I should say adult contemporary, because that means something else now. Peabo Bryson has passed away, and due to a stroke. And we are going to be paying tribute to Mr. Peabo Bryson on our Vibe Talk After Dark radio show. That will be coming up, and we still do have it. We've just been in a hiatus working on projects. So back to the music will be this coming Saturday evening, 9 p.m. Los Angeles time, West Coast time. So if you're living on the East Coast, you have to figure out what time is it for you when it's 8 o'clock in Los Angeles, or 9 p.m. So we will give honor to Mr. Peabo Bryson, legendary adult contemporary music, beautiful voice. So that has happened, and we always want to acknowledge and celebrate their talents in their life. When we think about self-caring, what exactly are you thinking? I want you to know that self-caring is important for all of us. Self-caring is to take care of yourself, and this is not in a selfish way. Self-caring is to be able to help you rejuvenate, unplug, restart, reflect. And why are you doing these things? You're doing these things because it's going to help you. For those of you who are just joining us, thank you for joining us. So when we are missing parts of ourselves for self-caring, self-caring. What parts are you missing? I want you to think about your body's image. And a lot of you who are like me may not know how to draw, but some of you are very good at drawing. Some of you are excellent. We're back, guys. And in case you have missed us, in case you have wondered what happened to us, we are good. We want you to know that sometimes our technical difficulty gets in the way. Not going to question it, but I am going to, as I said, get through this day. I can do it, and I'm going to do it. No questions, ifs, ands, or buts about it. So here we are. We're here with you. We want to start our day. We're back. And here we are. If we should get lost again, guys, bear with us. I don't know why our internet acts up like this. But we're here. As I said, happy graduation to Jonathan Hiley, which happens to be my nephew, who is graduating from MIT, college graduate. We're so proud of that. If you have self-caring, so we're looking at the decompressing of that process of unwinding, releasing, and this is the letting go of tension that has been built up. We were in process of talking about our knots in life and untangling them. We understand that when we're trying to untangle something, we're feeling very frustrated. We're feeling like we just can't untie that knot or get that knot out. But what do? We work on it. So I'm asking you all today to work on the decompression of yourself and finding a healthy way to do it. Now remember, we are not, and I want to say this in a healthy way, we are not people that are going to tell you what to do. We're going to allow you to choose. That's all part of the missing parts of ourselves, to allow yourself to rest, to decompress without the guilt. Because some of us feel like we have to be doing something all the time, every minute of the day. And we're not really self-caring. We're missing parts of ourselves. So as you think about the brain that you just drew, what part have you thought about that you're not getting enough of? You know, we hear words like, I need to rest. But how many of us actually do it? Just as I ask you to draw a brain, how many of you can actually do it? Let's think about something else. when we're thinking about unplugging, when you deliberately, you see what you do? Deliberately, you are unplugging from life. And I don't mean forever. You're unplugging, you're disconnecting. What is it that you're disconnecting from? Things that have helped our lives and sometimes have taken over our lives. And we're talking about our devices. We're using one now. And of course, it is necessary when you work. But there are times when it may not be necessary. How many of you know when it may not? Let's think about this for a minute. Setting limits. We think about boundaries, right? Boundaries help you to protect you, your time, your energy, and your mental space, your mental health. And when I say mental health, you know what most people think of mental health? Why are they associating that? And you who are stigmatized, why have you associated mental health with being crazy? Whoever started that, I'm sorry for the inaccuracy, because your mental health is protecting your own brain. No one can do it for you. Setting limits is a part of our lives that has been missed, or that has been mistaken for something other than needing care. And I want you to think about your mental health. It takes everything you have to just wake up, to just get up, to just even start. On top of all that, you have so much to contend with. We all do, right? So we've thought about these words, how these missing parts of our lives we need. What about when you think about being grounded? You know, being intentional in life. You live a purposeful life. But do you ever stop to stay focused? You know what? I hear a lot of people say, I can't catch my breath. How many of you have been out of breath and you just needed to catch your breath? And I want you to look at your brain and think about what I just said. We have been out of breath. When something startles us, such as a dog chases us, we run as fast as we can to protect ourselves. And let me show you how that also works. When you're at work and you need to get something done, your brain is telling your heart to hurry up. And when you are trying to keep yourself grounded and focused, your adrenaline rushes to get something done, to get something accomplished, to get something purposed. And you can be grounded, but I'd like you to think about your mental health. And I'm here to tell you, when we talk about your mental health is not to be misdirected, misunderstood as you're crazy. Mental health is taking care of that beautiful brain that you just drew. Because we don't think about it. We don't think about how our brain needs to have care, the self care that is missing from us. Because a lot of us get up, go to work, get our coffee, our teas. And some of us, and I know from personal experience, we can't get to breath. So we're not being grounded. We need to take that missing part and just breathe. Because we're always in the hustle and bustle of everything. So imagine what that does for our bodies. Are you missing that part of yourself? Positive affirmations, we all know them. Be good to yourself. Talk well into yourself. They aren't just words, because every day should be a part of your life to say something positive within yourself. And not something that I believe in, but something that you believe in. What do you believe? That should be your motto. That should be your affirmation. Because it does me no good to tell you what to say and how to say. And I'm really a stickler about that. It is what is in your inside, what is inside of you. Not just words, but what you believe about your self-caring, because your brain is a powerful tool. Are you allowed to rest? When was the last time that your brain told you this? Are you allowed to take care of yourself? To show up after you've rested? After you feel better? Let me give you an example. How many of you have been very sick? Where you've had to decompress, where you've had to unplug, where you just had to disconnect. How many of you have been that sick? You know, your brain starts to do what when you start feeling like that? You automatically do that. That's when you get sick and you can't show up for anybody, let alone yourself. So you have to do what? You have to tell yourself, I need to get better. So what do? You start to take procedure. You start to listen to the words that you say. And those words begin to take meaning, because now you're sick. Maybe it's a cold, maybe it's a flu, maybe you've been depressed for a while. So you think about your life and you think, what must I do to regain connection? What must I do to feel better, to improve? So you take needed things. Perhaps you need a cold remedy. Perhaps you need a fever remedy. Maybe it's your allergies. So you begin to do that and you start to do what? Feel better. And what do you tell yourself? I feel better. How many of you went to work and you've been sick as a dog, but you needed to show up and you felt faint? And you just kept on pushing through the day because You just had to get this done, and you told yourself, you actually lied to yourself and said, I feel great, when you felt miserable, where you needed to be home in bed. We do that to ourselves. And the reason we do that to ourselves is because we have responsibility. We have a thing that we call life. Lifing. Living. Why? Because we have adulting to do. Are you missing parts of showing up for yourself? The best parts of you, because see, those best parts of your pieces of yourself are going to be able to help someone else. You cannot pour from yourself what you don't have. So what do you require of yourself? You say, well, I'm going to talk. I'm going to make some phone calls. I'm sick. A lot of people these days are working from home. And as they work from home, they're sick. And their brain does what? Starts telling them, I can't miss this day. But what part of your brain is a missing part that you feel that you cannot rest? I have a new thing that I'm doing, and it's I'm choosing peace over trying to be perfect. There are some people believing in the world that we live in that believe they're perfect. How many of you know people like that? Anybody know people like that? They are perfect. Nobody is perfect. But instead of being the perfect person, the perfect solution, the perfect peace resolver, the perfect this, that, and the other, choose peace. I choose peace any day. Choose peace. Tell yourself if that's what you want. You know those breaks that we take? Lunch breaks, coffee breaks. You know, sometimes we take a coffee break. How many of you have taken a coffee break and it ended up being a 2-hour coffee break? I've went places, and whether it's business, and you ask for, can I speak to so-and-so, Mr. Blank, Mr. Office Runner, Mr. Manager, and they say these words. They're on a break. They're on their lunch break. And some of them really take their lunch break seriously, while others leave that job right where it is and come back when they want to. And you say, how long is your lunch break? You're talking to a friend or whatnot. And they say 45 minutes, but I was a little late. 15 minutes. Where I worked, I remember I worked at a telemarketing job. I was just turning 18. And in the telemarketing job, what was required is that you took a break for 15 minutes. I think it was every hour. Why do you suppose that is? Telemarketing is very complicated. Nowadays, I don't really know what it's like because we've gotten so far away from that. There's technology, there's office calling. People can call. My office can make a call to you, and I'm not there. But I don't like to have that because this is such a personal thing. So you make so many calls. Your brain is on overload. For your wellness, today I say, you deserve to restart. You deserve to recharge. But you must step back. Some people don't even take breaks at work. But your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Can you imagine being a teacher? You're teaching all day. You have students. You have a workload of students. Even if you're not in a school setting all day and you have no break. So take your break. Be that slogan that says, you deserve a break today. How many of you remember that? Any one of you? Do you remember that you deserve a break today? Every day should be your mission to be able to get that break. I want you to, as regards your wellness, I want you to stay active. And when you want to get well, stay well, and be well, I want you to think about what leads to your process of being well. Rejuvenate. When you rejuvenate something, you are restoring that missing parts of yourself. Today's song is Pieces of Me by Ashley Simpson. The Healing Center, if you'd like to get connected to start your healing process. It is brought to you by Vibetalkfacingthelion podcast, which is part of our family. You can do individual, group, as well as walk-in. We're back. And we are doing Trish's Treasures. Trish, you can either call in or do it here. 661-795-0475. You can call in. Lines are open if that's better for you. I want to thank each and every one of you. Today has been very, very trying with the technical difficulty. And I don't know why we're having that, but we're going to test it out. We're going to figure it out. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, and thank you. Have a good day, everyone.